Hey guys, what's up? It's Carson back here on Toxic Gaming with finally, after so long, we finally have the Season 2 PIC draft analysis thing for the LA Doublades. Your team, my team, our team, whatever you want to call it. But we had finally our Season 2 draft last Sunday. If you missed it, there's going to be a whole other the entire stream is going to be uploaded, not to my channel, but to the PIC's actual YouTube channel, which will all be linked down below if you want to go back and watch it. The entire 5 hours worth of draft is there, and it's myself and a few other guys on commentary. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly who all did it, but I know I was on there from the mega pick all the way down to getting done with RU was me for commentary. But anyway, we're just gonna get right into who we picked up. And for those of you who don't know, the PIC's structure is that you get one mega throughout any of them. It could be any tier mega. You just get one mega slot. Then you go three OU picks, 3 UU picks, 3 RU, and then NU and PU are grouped together, so you have 3 NU and PU picks. Not fully evolved. All that's grouped in that last column. And really, we kind of just have fun with that last stuff, but we really just kind of go groups of 3 and then the 1 mega in the beginning. And to start off our draft, I believe we got we were in the bottom half of picks for the mega. But luckily, I got the mega I wanted. We went with Mega Pinsir. The absolute terror that Mega Pinsir is. Both aesthetically and statistically, completely scary mon with that base 155 attack and 105 speed. This thing is there's only I believe 1 or 2. No, I believe there was Manaphy, Mew, and Shaman were all also drafted, and for the base 100s they're damn good. But you now with Mega Pinsir, you have to put a scarf on them. You have to somehow get faster than this Mega Pinsir to be able to take it down, especially with Manaphy or Shaman just trying to live. But Manaphy, if it wants to take me down with an Ice Beam, it's got to have to run something to outspeed me, aka a Choice Scarf. So it's going to be really limiting a Manaphy going up 1v1 against Mega Pinsir, because we have Aerialate, great ability. I believe it boosted by 1.3 times all normal moves, and also turns them into flying moves. So now we have Flying Stab. So that's great. Regular Pinsir's abilities of Moxie and Mold Breaker will probably be used too. Really depending on what we're facing. If we're facing a team with a Rotom on it, probably Mold Breaker for the first turn. If we're facing a team that we feel we can just pick off them on and then Mega Evolve the second turn, we'll do that. But we got the quick attacks, close combat, earthquaking, return, thrash. I believe he even gets double edge. Let me look. I'll look here real quick what another move he can get. He gets knockoff for some goddamn reason, because we just need Pinsir with a knockoff. Rock Slide, Stone Edge. We have Stealth Rock options if we want it. We have a lot of offensive power here with I almost said Bisharp, with Mega Pinsir, and also 120 base defense is nothing to laugh at. That is, we can actually more than likely take at least 1 hit of something more than often than not. Now our next mon that we got up is Victini. Victini being the next mon that we have. The Brow came back from last season to this season. I knew it was my first pick of the OU draft, or the OU section. I believe we were pretty sure we were 8th or 9th in OU, and we were towards the bottom. We weren't the last pick ever, but we were towards the bottom, and I'm just I don't know if it'll still be there. If it is, I'm scooping it up first. Victini was so key to us all season last season. The entire time, Victini was the central point of our team, and we were able to have everything else make Victini shine. And it just works so well as a Choice Scarf or Assault Vest, Life Orb, Expert Belt. Everything works so nice from last season, and it's good to see a familiar face from last season. Again, base 100s across the board. I didn't mention this one with Mega Pinsir because we don't have to worry about facing Victini, because we can use it. But nice base 100 across the board, with that nice 180 base power V-Create with Stab, and we can run Scarfs if we need to. We can run Choice Bandit if we just want to break through things. So offensive with Victini, I love it. We could go defensive with Willow, but that would be all fire types on the defensive side aren't the best, but it depends on what we have to do. Now for the second pick, my original second pick's choice, the one I wanted, was Raikou. Well, Raikou hadn't been picked up yet. But my third pick that I wanted was Clefable. And Clefable just got picked up by the guys who went after me. And so we're coming back through the draft like, oh my god, I need a fairy type or else they're all going to be gone. And we didn't have one last season, and I wouldn't say it cost us, but it left us out really out for what could have been. And so we went with Sylveon. Sylveon was my second pick in OU. I knew I had to get a nice fairy type. Clefable and Azumarill were both gone before this point. I was thinking about taking Gardevoir, but I didn't really want to have just a normal Gardevoir. So I went with Sylveon, 130 base defense, or base special defense, 95 base attack, or 95 base HP, and 110 special attack is nothing to laugh at. Sylveon with Pixelate. It says cute charm on there now. That's just because I just kind of did the base showdown look. But Sylveon with Pixelate, and if we went with a choice spec Sylveon to just decimate teams, get behind those substitutes, everything, hitting as many ghost types as we can. If we have somebody has, like, I believe somebody has Flygon, so if they come in with an Outrage trying to take out someone else, we could either let them go down or just switch in Sylveon, absorb the Outrage, and just kind of sit there on the field and hyper voice it and kill it. So nice to have Sylveon. Even though the speed is 60, it's really, I guess, not that necessary for Sylveon because of how many hits Sylveon really can take. You can make a bold Sylveon, all defense, all special, or all HP, or all defense and all special attack, and just sit there on the field and take hits while you're dishing out those nice and strong hyper voices, getting things like Psyshock and Shadow Ball for coverage, Wish protect abilities. I believe he even gets like Aromatherapy or something too. So it's like a nice either Clerk with Sylveon or just a nice heavy hitter. And I love that about Sylveon. I'm not a fan overall of Sylveon's design. I'm just gonna say I'm just personally not a fan of it. But if Sylveon can do work for our Doublades, it'll do work. So as I was saying earlier, with my second pick, I wanted Raikou, and I didn't take it because of Sylveon. I needed to get that Fairy type, so I had thought it would be back around, and I think it was like 2 or 3 picks before mine, Raikou was taken. And I'm sitting there like, oh crap, oh crap, crap. What is another good electric type in OU besides like Mega Manectric? I'm sitting there thinking and thinking and thinking. I'm like, okay, Thundurus. And I was like, wait, now which Thundurus do I want? Do I want the Prankster or do I want the Power Thundurus? And I was thinking about it. I hadn't decided yet when it was getting closer to me. And then Jim, Potato Jim, if you guys remember from last season, he was the pick before me. And he chose Thundurus Incarnate. And I sat there and I'm just like, well, that kind of makes my decision for me. And I went with Thundurus Therian form. It was really nice to have Thundurus there, still around. And it was kind of funny because it was like Thundurus Incarnate, and I'm like, well, as we were still talking about this thing, I'm taking the other form. And we got the Therian form. We have now a electric immunity, which was kind of a factor in the back of my mind in my original draft plans that we didn't have much of. We didn't have many ground types in my original plan. But now we have an electric immunity, and we have a way to dodge ground moves by having the electric and flying stabs and typing. And with 145 special attack, this thing is a complete wall breaker. Like, if we can force a switch out, put up a nasty plot, and then just go to town with base 101 speed, we're still outspeeding those base 100s. They still have to run more speed for us to be able to even deal with us at all. They have to run that choice card if they want to try to deal with this or Mega Pinsir. So that's really, really nice. Not the bulkiest one. We could go with like a superpower or a knockoff by having 105 base attack if we need that 4th move slot, but I have a feeling Thundurus is going to be a lot of maybe choice specs, maybe Life Orb, Expert Belt with Nasty Plot, and just tear through teams in the mid-game and set up later, and basically allow later for Victini or Pinsir to really just finish it out for us. Now, as we got those OU picks done, we got the OU picks finally done, and everything was really nice, going nice. I was looking at all the teams and everything, and everybody wanted the whole Steel Dragon Fairy core. Nothing wrong with that core exactly, but off my own time, I had my own thoughts of, oh, fuck off, phone. God damn it. I have my own thoughts of what makes that core work so well, and it's really the fact of having a good fairy type and a good steel type together. You don't really even need the great dragon type there, and in my opinion, I don't feel like you do on the terms of what weaknesses, because fairy covers steel's weaknesses with fighting and fire pretty well, and steel covers fairy's weaknesses of steel itself and poison. So I was like, I don't really feel like I need a dragon type, and for my first pick of OU, the one I wanted to get was Goodra in the original. I was thinking about Goodra, Goodra was there, ready to go, and then I had that whole thought process of not needing the dragon type in that core, so I decided to go with a good old favorite, back from season 1 of the PIC from the LA Doublades, Mamoswine. The stash had to come back. I don't know what's so good about Mamoswine, but it's just so good. It was in OU for so long for a reason. We have the thick fat ability if we want to have him be just a normal tank that just tank ice type hits. We have Oblivious if we want to have him run a lead set so I can't get taunted. And 130 base attack, 110 base HP, 80 base speed, but we can still speed creep a majority of mons, and we still have the Ice Shard priority, Stab Earthquakes, Stealth Rock setting up, which we didn't have. I was going to originally have in Clefable if I could have drafted Clefable, but now we have it with Mamoswine, and just nice knockoff capability, Icicle Crash, so many offensive sets that Mamoswine can run. And I loved it last season. It worked really, really well for us last season, and I'm planning on using Mamoswine again. The stash is back. Perfect. For the second OU pick, it was one I really wanted to draft last season. I wanted it, and the only reason I did not draft it last season is because last season we took our mascot of Doublade, and I didn't want to double up on steel types. I didn't really want to double up in the same tier for steel types. So what I went with was Doublade instead. This season, we decided to go with Lucario, a nice steel fighting type, great stabs, and it really completes that fairy steel core with what do you call it, Sylveon. I forgot what I drafted for a second. And honestly, it covers their weaknesses pretty well. The only thing that it doesn't cover is psychic immunity or resistance, but I'll get to that later. But with Lucario, honestly, 110 attack, 115 special attack, 90 speed, having inner focus to take care of fake out users, which Ambipom and Perugly were both taken during the draft, so I know there's going to be fake out running around there somewhere. Or if we wanted to go justified for how prevalent knockoff is, switch in, get our item knockoff, because it really won't affect us that much anyway, being fighting type, and now get an attack boost. So that might be a strategy I might use. If not, we're just going to go with the regular like Life Orbs, nice things like that, having agility, everything along those lines. And people don't really understand how like his special attack is higher than his attack. A lot of people see Lucario and see him as an E-speeder, close combat, earthquake guy, and maybe bullet punch to round it out. But really, you make more use of him being a mixed attacker or being a special attacker, and so it's interesting. I'm waiting to see what we can really use with Lucario coming up. Now, for the last pick in UU, if you guys saw the video that went up yesterday of the top 5 competitive poison types that I did, if you haven't, go back and see it. But this mon was actually on that list for the exact reasons that I drafted it for, and that was our last pick in UU was Tentacruel. I needed, with Mega Pinsir, Victini, and now Thundurus, I needed some way to get rid of Stealth Rocks. That was necessary in all accounts, and Tentacruel can do that. Both resistant to the rocks coming in, 120 base special defense, so if they're trying to really hit hard on our walls, we can deal with that. Base 80 HP, and base 100 speed. Really weird to see a Tentacruel with base 100 speed, because now a whole lot of people remember that. But Tentacruel can come in, spin away the rocks, scald a majority of rocks setup mons, being like Donphan, Hippowdon, things like that. And also with Sludge Wave, another stab move, we can scare away that Clefable that would be able to set up rocks as well. Any of the other fairy types that are going to be roaming around the tier. Now, the thing about Tentacruel I don't like about it is its psychic, the psychic weakness. Again, on the physical side with Psyshocks from like a Mega Gardevoir really are gonna hurt. But we could build Tentacruel in a way that really will let it shine. We can set up our own hazards with Toxic Spikes. I don't believe he gets Spikes as well, but if he does, we can do that as well. Set up our own hazards with Tentacruel and just stack on top of each other and actually have a decent special wall to deal with. And I really like the combination of Mega Pinsir and Tentacruel, and I'm waiting to show that to people because some people don't think I know what I'm doing when I draft a Tentacruel. And believe me, I think I do. But as we moved on out of the UU picks, we actually got the first pick overall in RU, and I was shocked by it, and I just kind of sat there like, oh crap, what do I draft? I didn't know exactly, and even in my prep, I was just kind of like, you know, whatever happens to be there when we're there, I'll draft. And by getting that #1 pick, I was like, oh god, what am I gonna do? So what we ended up driving first overall was Spiritomb. In RU, we took Spiritomb because of how much we really struggled facing Spiritomb before, last season PIC, if you remember that battle. And really because I felt like I needed that Psychic immunity, and Spiritomb gives us that for both Lucario and Tentacruel. He gives us that Psychic immunity, he gives us a nice base 108 special defense and defense, 92 in both attacking stats. The only bad downside to Spiritomb I feel like is that he's slow, base 35, and HP, base 50. The speed can be remedied by having Shadow Sneak or Sucker Punch, 2 priority moves. The HP, that's going to be the struggle part of it, but Spiritomb still is really bulky to take down, and he can cripple physical attackers with Will-O-Wisp, and also can really threaten them with foul play as well. I feel like Spiritomb can really be really nice, really one that just like kind of makes the glue to the team like Uxie was for us last season. That's what I feel Spiritomb can really do, and that's why I decided to take a #1 overall. Now, as we moved on to the second pick in UU, we were the wheel pick. We had the #1 spot, so we had to wait all the way as it went down until it came all the way back up. And what I decided to do with my wheel picks, I went with Rotom Mow for the first pick. I was very hesitant of taking Rotom Mow. It fixed the Water Grass Fire core with Rotom Mow itself, and Tentacruel, and Victini, and it gave us another Earthquake immunity. Forgot the word. Immunity, as we have both Tentacruel and Lucario that are weak to Earthquake as well. We now have 3 immunities, being Thundurus, Mega Pinsir, and now Rotom Mow. Really nice to have that 3rd immunity going in through the draft. Really great to have another Will-O-Wisper, another another Pain Split user, Trick user. I can go Choice Specs, I can go Leftovers. He's a very nice fit in, especially with 105 base special attack, 107 in both defenses. 86 speed is not bad at all. It's basically the only thing that makes this worse, I feel like, than Rotom Heat or Rotom Wash is the type kind of hurts a little bit, but for our team, the type fit perfect. That's why I went with that one. And for the second wheel pick, basically the second pick after, as we started going back down in our last RU pick, I went with T-Rex himself, Tyrantrum. I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? Why not have a Dragon type? Because we don't really need the Dragon type with the core that we were looking at, but Tyrantrum just hits so hard with the rock-headed head smashes, with outrages. We can choice scarf him if we need to get that speed, or if we really don't, if maybe we were with Trick Room on Spiritomb, just choice band and just hit things hard. I believe he also gets Rock Polish, so if we wanted to try to set up a Rock Polish with him, I know he gets Dragon Dance for sure, but he might get Rock Polish, I'm not certain. Set up something to boost that speed up, and if we boost the attack with Dragon Dance as well, what the hell are we gonna do? Just Tyrantrum, 121 base attack, 119 defense, and 82 speed. That means I can take a hit from a good amount of physical mons with that 82 HP and 119 defense. I can still take a hit and then dish out even more. That's why I love Tyrantrum. I can just fire off head smashes. Yes, they may miss, but it's a lot more fun to just fire them off. So with those were our last of the RU and UU picks, and to start off our NU tier, I believe we're pretty sure we got towards the bottom of it, towards like the last 5 picks or so, and I was looking at my team, and I saw the only real thing we had to do with hazards was Tentacruel. And while I liked that option, I feel like we needed something else. We needed something else to deal with hazards just to control them. And I was like, do we want to go with another Rapid Spinner? Well, there's Claydol. I don't know. Claydol doesn't do much for me besides screens and Rapid Spin. Like, it doesn't do anything else besides that for me. So I was looking around, looking around, and I found Xatu. Xatu with Magic Bounce, a 95 base speed, so decently fast, 95 base special attack. Still can hit pretty hard. And Magic Bounce, just to time those rocks coming in and send them back, it would be ideal. Especially with just wearing down teams so that Mega Pinsir can come in and just simply either quick attack or return and just decimate teams. That's what Xatu can do. Having U-turn capabilities to get in, bounce the rocks, and get out if I need to. Having Psyshock capabilities is very nice. Roost and Toxic, very, very bulky. He's very deceivingly, I feel like, bulky, but he can be a very nice just kind of counter lead for us and very well with controlling the hazards, and that's the only real reason I drafted him. We can run screens with him as usual, as we did a lot last year, but more than likely will just be just to control the hazards, more than likely with Xatu. And we moved on to our second pick of the NU, PU tiers, whatever, and I was like, you know what, no one's gonna pick this thing up. I have a feeling literally nobody was, and it's a shame that if nobody did. And so I went with Weezing. Weezing is one of the mons that's like 120 base defense. Why are you people just kind of giving this thing up? It even has 90 base attack. That's still not completely horrible. And he can burn mons. He can Pain Split. He can Destiny Bond. He can just do the Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower stuff to get around a lot of things. A Fairy Wall to he walls the hell out of Azumarill completely, or Zumarill, however you say it. Walls the hell out of that thing and can burn him or kill him with the Sludge Bomb. Weezing is just too good for me, and he also gives us another ground immunity. So does Xatu, by the way. So now we have our ground immunity completely covered, or ground weakness completely covered from our earlier picks with our lower tier, and people can't just keep firing off Earthquakes on us anymore, because I could just bring in a Weezing, burn your Excadrill, and now what are you going to do? What can you do to me? I'm just going to sit there and either Pain Split you to get you down and then kill you with a Flamethrower. Weezing can just take on threats easily. And for our last, the last NU pick, a lot of the guys were kind of going with some just kind of fun picks, just kind of the mess around picks. I believe Juan even drafted Litleo, which I'm interested to see what that does. But I kind of went with one that was it was a fun pick, just kind of like for what the mon looks like. And I went with something that was actually a lot more defensive as well, because we do have the nice defensive Weezing. I felt to match it, we have to go with Quagsire. I feel like Quagsire would be really, really nice. Yes, they got the grass weakness, but we have both Tentacruel, Weezing, and Victini, and Mega Pinsir to deal with it. So I think we're okay with that. But with Unaware Quagsire, just being able to sit there and sponge up hits. Just sit there and sponge up hits, recover, and Toxic Stall. With Scald, Earth Power, Earthquake, and I believe he even gets like Ice Punch or Ice Beam. He gets a decent amount of coverage moves and can just sit there on the field. Very underrated for how much Quagsire just sits on the field and with his derpy ass face and just sitting there. And that's what's so nice about it. I just really wanted that pick. I was so happy when it came down to the last pick with this thing. And he also gives us Water Absorb, so another water immunity. So I really like Quagsire. I like it as our last pick. I want to know what you guys think of our draft overall. I want to know what you think for our season, and what you think for the 11 members, which all of their little logos will be down below, so you can see the wide variety of teams that we have. What you think about what this season can do for us. I will tell you, battles start February 4th. The LA Doublades, kind of unfortunately, but I guess fortunately, we have a bye week the first week. So I will still be I'll be looking around for some other league, interleague play, see if we can do that. But if not, there will not be a battle on the 4th for us. But for everyone else, there will be battles. Go check them all out. All the links will be down in the description of this video, especially the link to the new PIC YouTube and the new PIC Twitter, so you can go check out anything there and keep up to date. But as far as our draft goes, that's really it. I feel like we did very well. I got every single mon. I got all but I believe 2 mons that I had planned for. Perfect. Perfect draft in my opinion for me. It's what I wanted. We got it done. And with that, I'm gonna get up and out of here. So thank you guys for coming out. I'm Toxic Gaming. And as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.